Here we are on our 8th video about flowing money. We talked about how to let go of the impact of our previous experience with money, to let go of that emotional impact, and to do different exercises that help us create a new experience with money. As we're creating a new experience with money, there are two things that are so important: generosity and gratitude. It's really important that these two things characterize our new experience. I'm actually going to skip ahead a few slides here because I'm going to do this a little different than I was planning. So we can think of it like a valve, okay? So money comes into our lives and out of our lives, right? When it comes into our lives, we receive it with gratitude. When it goes out of our lives, we give it to others with generosity. We want to keep both really open. Have lots of gratitude, lots of generosity. If we shut the valve, we shut both ends, right? So if we're not willing to be generous with our money, if we kind of hold it all up and hoard it, it shuts both ends and money doesn't come in or out. If we're not grateful, money doesn't come in or out, right? So we need to receive lots of money and use lots of money, okay? Receive lots, use lots, receive lots, use lots, receive lots, use lots. Like let it come in and out constantly, like a lot of it, a lot. And always with gratitude, generosity, gratitude, generosity. I want to talk about each of those two things for a sec. So I got this picture to represent gratitude. I like this picture for a few reasons. One, I feel like this child is grateful to their parents and the parents are grateful they have this child. Children can do a really good job of being examples to us of gratitude and generosity. Pay attention to the children. What are they doing to show gratitude and generosity? How can you be more like them? This child is showing gratitude for their parents. And that's the thing. Gratitude is towards someone, right? Gratitude is you appreciate something and you feel that appreciation towards someone. You feel grateful to the God, to the universe, to yourself, to someone who did something for you. Gratitude reminds you that you're part of something bigger than yourself, right? You can't experience gratitude really like just by yourself. You experience gratitude towards someone who helped you, right? Even if that someone is part of yourself, like you're grateful for your heart or your bloods or your body or your spirit, right? Grateful for your brain, grateful for your thinking. You're just grateful. Gratitude gets you looking outward towards others in a way that doesn't have ego. You're grateful. And so do things to grow in gratitude. Some people like to make gratitude lists. Some people like to just take time every day to just stop and think about things they're grateful for. I found that when I put a lot of my attention on my chest, when I'm having tensions on my chest area, my heart, it's easier to feel gratitude when my attention's there. Put some attention on your heart. Just think of things you're grateful for. Just do a gratitude journal where you just write a few things you're grateful for every day. Whatever helps you grow in gratitude, do that. If you're waiting to have more money before feeling grateful, then you're going to keep waiting. You got to learn gratitude first, right? In the Bible, there's this story of the multiplying of the loaves and the fishes. And Jesus gives gratitude for the little bit of food they have, and then it becomes a lot of food. He says a prayer, he doesn't even ask for more food. It says he just gives gratitude for the little bit of food they have, and it multiplies. That's the power of gratitude. I want to have more gratitude in my life. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me and tell each other what things help you have more gratitude. Share things with each other that help us learn like tips and tricks and little life hacks that help us practice gratitude every day. And one thing about this child is express your gratitude to the people you're grateful for. If you're thinking of someone right now you're grateful for, why not shoot them a message right now and telling them why you're grateful for them? Why not? Go for it. The next thing is generosity. As we receive more, let's give. The more we give, the more we'll receive. It's just the way it works. This child is being very generous here, right? When children are with people they're vulnerable with, they know they can trust, they're generous with them. Be generous. When you make a budget, maybe include in your budget some ideas, like include your budget, some ideas, some budgeted items, right? Some spots budget. Like, this is the budget I use to be generous. We for our Patreon people, we're putting a video on Patreon that actually walks through some ideas of how to budget differently, of how to budget in a way that uses these principles we're talking about. Budgeting can sometimes make you feel limited. Budgeting can be a way of saying, I don't have more money. I only have a little bit of money. Sometimes budgeting says that to ourselves, but there's a different way we can budget that actually budgets in a way that opens our mind to having more money. And we have a video about that on Patreon, along with a template budget, like a spreadsheet you can download to try budgeting this way. You can customize it to your own purposes. And one thing in that budget that we template have is one of the early items on it is generosity, actually budgeting money to be generous with. And when you receive more money, upping that amount. In fact, the more money you have, the higher percentage you can be generous with. When you're just barely getting by, it's hard to be generous with very much, and that's understandable. But as you flow more and more money, you can be generous with a higher percentage of your money. So by doing these techniques to bring more money into our lives, it lets us be more generous. Be generous with your money, and you'll receive more. Also, every use of money is generosity and gratitude. Every single time. Anytime I just whip this with my nose. That might be awkward for a YouTube video. But as I said in the previous video, I'm leaving it in. We're just running with it here. We're just being our best selves one season at a time. I did this. My best self did that today. I love myself. I love that I did that. That's wonderful. We need gratitude and generosity are really, really important part of how we use all our money. Every time you spend money, I don't like the word spend money. Let's talk about using money. Every time you use money to perform an exchange of services of some kind, you're saying thank you to the person that gave you that service, and you're being generous with them to make sure they're taken care of. When you pay your taxes, you're saying thank you, government, for doing these things that help our, keeping roads and libraries and things like that going. Thank you, government. And you're saying you're being generous with everyone else in society so they can keep having schools and libraries and roads and things like that. When you pay your mortgage or your rent, you're doing the same thing. You're saying, thank you that I have a place to live. When you pay your power bill, thank you for this electricity. It's so nice to have electricity and have light. It's so nice to have heat and not be cold. Thank you for that. When you buy groceries, thank you, farmers and everyone else. Thank you, Earth, thank you, everyone, for producing this food. And I'm being generous. I'm giving you money so you can take care of what's important to you. When we think of everything we use money for as an act of generosity and gratitude, that really helps. So feel free to add in the comments one more thing. Tell us in the comments any ideas you have for anything we can do to remind ourselves to see each purchase that way. One quick trick is that when you put a note on your budget somewhere that reminds you of this principle, and then every time you enter things in your budget, take a moment to say thank you. You put in money, you put the money amount you used to pay your rent, and you say out loud, thank you, landlord, for giving me a place to live. Thank you. And just say it out loud while you enter in your budget and see what happens. Okay, so as we do these things, as we're grateful and generous, we'll keep our valve open. More money will come in, more money will go out, and it'll just keep flowing, it'll go. Money isn't made to go to one person and stick there. Money's made to move between us. It's an energy we use to move around to get things done in society. And if you are a person who's full of gratitude and generosity, then when money comes to you, it's like that your gratitude and generosity blesses that money. That money starts glowing with goodness. The spiritual energy, the quantum energy of your body blesses that money. And then when you pass it on to other people, that blessing goes with it into their lives. But if you look at money like begrudgingly, or you think of it as evil or something like that, that doesn't work so well. So let lots of money in, bless it, and let lots of money out. And let everyone be blessed. I hope that when these people support our channel, that when they, you know, many of these people support on Patreon, and when they give that $13 a month to Patreon, I hope that they feel grateful and generous. I'm grateful for how they support the channel. Thank you guys. And I'll see all of you in the next video. We're almost done. We're almost there. And I'm grateful that I'll see you in the next one.